The arrival of Claude Opus 4.7 marks a massive transition away from simple conversational chatbots toward high-performance, fully autonomous agentic AI. Anthropic launched the new flagship model alongside a prototyping platform called Claude Design, triggering immediate volatility in the tech sector. Within hours of the announcement, Figma's stock dropped nearly 8%. This graphic shows the workflow collapse driving that market reaction. While traditional design requires separate stages, Claude Design generates a navigable prototype in a single step, exporting exact component logic as structured metadata for direct implementation into a codebase. For the C-suite, this shifts AI from a brainstorming assistant into a direct execution engine, accelerating product development by removing the manual friction between design and code. Directing these autonomous systems toward enterprise goals without constant human oversight introduces existential legal risks to the boardroom. In December 2026, the EU Product Liability Directive takes effect, mandating that software be officially classified as a regulated product. This chart tracks the shift in regulatory requirements. Under these rules, a hallucination is a legally actionable product defect. To mitigate this, Opus 4.7 prioritizes factual grounding and a 92% honesty rate, training the model to admit uncertainty rather than providing incorrect answers. Beyond legal exposure, the 4.7 architecture contains a hidden financial cost that impacts the bottom line immediately upon deployment. This bar chart illustrates the tokenizer tax. Because the new model packs technical payloads like Rust or JSON more densely than its predecessor, identical workflows can expand to consume 35% more tokens, effectively increasing the base budget from $1 million to $1.35 million. For the Chief Risk Officer, managing autonomous AI requires strict new governance models to prevent massive budget overruns and immediate legal liability. To understand why enterprise teams are adopting this engine despite the costs, we have to look at the specific engineering leads Anthropic has established. This capability matrix shows the model hitting 87.6% on the SWE bench verified test. This indicates a high proficiency in resolving complex, multi-file software bugs without human intervention. That reasoning power is supported by a significant hardware-level upgrade to the model's vision system, now reaching 3.75 megapixels. This financial balance sheet shows the impact of that resolution jump. By using one-to-one pixel coordinate mapping, the model performs perfect character recognition on dense, low-contrast, or handwritten data that previous models found unreadable. Opus 4.7 functions as a senior-level digital employee, automating the processing of unstructured logic and high-density data tasks. However, treating 4.7 as a simple update to existing pipelines will break enterprise systems that rely on long-term memory. This context degradation diagram visualizes an architectural regression. When context exceeds 100,000 tokens, recall declines sharply. Facts buried in the middle of massive dossiers fall into this danger zone. Here, the model increasingly misses critical details. Furthermore, because Opus 4.7 utilizes a completely new tokenizer to process data, migrating to the model instantly invalidates all previous cache entries. For architects, this means all existing deployment economics and hit ratios reset to 0 on day one. Safe deployment requires IT architects to implement retrieval-augmented generation to keep data within the high-performance recall zone and to establish entirely new caching benchmarks. Managing the financial risk of autonomous loops requires the implementation of task budgets. This timeline compares traditional token limits with the new budget system. Instead of being cut off mid-sentence when a limit is reached, Path B shows the model viewing a depleting countdown, allowing it to reprioritize logic and finish gracefully. Beyond cost control, the ultimate defense against 2026 liability laws lies in its internal reasoning locks. This compliance flowchart shows how archiving the model's adaptive thinking traces creates forensic intent logs. These logs provide the technical evidence needed to prove the model logically verified its own work, establishing a legal duty of care. These 3 boardroom mandates are now required to secure adoption, restricting massive document drops, enforcing strict token economics, and operationalizing the archiving of thinking traces. Deploying Claude 4.7 means governing a high-risk, high-reward digital workforce that requires the same level of architectural and legal oversight as any human department.